Hello, guys, and welcome back to this 11th episode of the Schalke Road to Glory, where we combine data together with Excel and Football Manager to craft the most optimal formula for which players you have to scout and which players you can use in your tactic. I will walk you through the end of the 27 and 28 season. You will see how we did from the last video, and you will see if we added any more prizes this season. Anyway, let's start at the new arrivals. So, which players did arrive this year? We have, of course, João Veloso in 38 games, 17 goals, 9 assists, a 7.37, very good. Carvalho as well, 12 games only played, but 10 goals and 5 assists in a 7.6 rating. It's nice. Also, Kostas Tsimikas, 7.3 rating, Chukwu, 7.1 rating, and then we also have Dupanzo, 13 goals, 14 assists, very nice. So basically means that all the signings that we made a quite of an impact. Thomas Araujo didn't perform as well as I thought he would, but he did okay anyway. As for transfers out, of course, Cedric has gone out, Dardai, Elias, Saad, Mason Greenwood, and Mittelstadt. Greenwood actually went to Red Bull Leipzig, and let me tell you, they were very close to getting the title this year. Let's go to the season results, and here we go. We have finished third, and let me show you why that happened. That happened because right here we were so close and we were winning a lot. We then tied against Wolfsburg and tied against this game against Bayern Leverkusen, which was just killing us. We were winning that game. By far had more XG, but they had a goal where no one really stopped Frimpong, and then they get a penalty. So we really lost that by a small margin, or we tied by a small margin. And then here against Dortmund as well. Let me not click that. Let me just click right here. We also didn't manage to grab a win. They scored in the 77th minute. We had a lot more XG, but unfortunately couldn't really get that into a goal. As the Panzo really played poorly the last couple of games in the season. But hey, it meant that in the last game we did lose the championship battle. Bayern München claimed it because I think that is because Red Bull Leipzig lost twice. They lost both their last games, so no second title for them. But Bayern München claimed it once again with a miraculous save because I think at some point they were even below us. So they did pretty well. Let's actually check that out how their run went. So here you go. They only won from this point on. So they won against Hertha Bochum, Wolfsburg, Hoffenheim, Borussia Dortmund, and then one lost to against Bayern, but then won the rest, the other 5 games. So they had a pretty poor start of the season, but they went on to win the league under our noses, unfortunately. In the UEFA Champions League, we also had a heartbreak. We lost 2-0 against Liverpool, but then we were, I think, 1-0 up when Kone decided to get a red card in the 11th minute, and we were playing well from that point on. And after that, it was just all doomed. We really couldn't do anything anymore. So also heartbreak in the Champions League, where we reached once again the semi-finals. Well, I think actually last season we reached the round of 16, so the semi-finals is actually not that bad. If you look at the DFB Pokal, you will see that we managed to not win it, losing it against Bayern München 2-1. Very close game as well. We just didn't have the XG and the chances that Bayern had. So a double from Fatih meant that they are winning that, unfortunately. Anyway, in the German Super Cup, we did win that against Bayern 2-0 at the beginning of the season, so at least we got one prize. So the moments to remember were the 9-1 win against in the Bokal against like a third league side, and then the moments to remember was a 3-1 win over Dortmund, which was nice. And the finances, this is how the finances are looking. So right here, we're earning more in our sponsorships. We don't really get more deals, but we're currently known as a Continental Club, which is nice. 22.9 million in average sales of our shirts, which is a bonus but 10, so that's very nice. And lost a lot less competition prize money, of course, because we didn't get placed in the first place in the Bundesliga. So this is our team lined up. So as you can see, everybody performed pretty okay, except for Araujo. He really wasn't that good in the center of the defense. So we're going to see what kind of changes we can make there. But for the rest, they all played very, very well. Very happy with how they did, and also happy with the signings. Then record breakers, the only thing we're going to look at. Most goals by a player. Silva scored 4 goals in one game. Then Malacia got 14 assists this season. And the high transfer fee, of course, paid for Scalvini, who is really worth the money, and also gained 70 million for Greenwood, which is also nice. So yeah, the 2-1 win, a 2-0 win against Bayern for the Super Cup. That's the only prize that we took this season. But what we're now going to do is we're going to spend a lot of the money that we have right here. We have gained a transfer budget of 104 million with 261 transfer budget, which means that we almost have 140 million to spend here. And we're definitely going to spend that. I already have some people on my radar, but I'm not sure if I will tell you already. I will tell you a bit later on. If we look at the finances right now, we have 143 million, but we still have to get a lot of the Champions League money in. So I think at the end we'll be at 200 million, and that means that our wages are still the same, and our debts and loans are now 200 million in that debt, which is achieved. It's okay because we are currently playing Champions League and in the Bundesliga, so it's not that big of a deal. So I wanted to show you the accolades, and then there was also one thing that I wanted to show you about the squad. So how everybody did here. Of course, no most caps for our goalkeeper, and Kone also had a lot of caps. Playing pretty well, 7.2. It's with the tactic that we're playing, which is very attacking. It's not that bad, but I really expected more of Thomas Araujo here. He is only 6.88 here in this first season, and he's wanted by Manchester United and Newcastle, so not really against letting him go there. Then there was one thing that I wanted to show you for the people that actually bother with this. I really like this. We have 4.4 million more social media followers. Our influence is very low, and we have 52 season ticket holders. And let me just show you one more thing. If my keyboard will stop acting weirdly. We did upgrade our stadium. I think I can show you right here in facilities. We're now at a 77k stadium. We've upgraded our stadium, state-of-the-art training and youth, exceptional academic and youth, and we're now trying to upgrade our affiliate clubs. So what I usually do is I go to affiliate club here and then see boost our international profile. They like that, and I leave that up to them, and then they come back with a club from where we can spread our influence in the world. So what I will do is I will sim forward, and I will sim forward until I think around the end of the new or the beginning of the new season. I will let you know if anything interesting happened in that season, and if not, I will just show you the transfers after the end of the January transfer window. So I will be back in, I think, only 4 months. It will be the start of the new season. I will show you what kind of Champions League opponents we get, and I will show you all the new signings that I've made with my datasheet, of which you can find a link down below in the description. Anyway, for me, I will be simming through a couple of hours and a couple of game months, and I will see you back in a couple of seconds. Hey guys, and welcome back. We did make a lot of transfers, but before I show you those transfers, let's just jump into how we did in the past couple of games. So we had 4 games in the Bundesliga. We played 4 of them. Won 5-1 against Freiburg and Mönchengladbach, and 3-1 against Düsseldorf, and had a tie against Bayern München here, which was very unfortunate because we were the better team. We had 2 disallowed goals, and we should have just won this, but unfortunately didn't really make a difference. Unfortunately, also a 5-1 victory over St. Pauli, which means that we're now against Fürth, which is also a third-class team, third Liga team. So that's all right. We should also win that. And we've also gained our schedule from the Europa Champions League. So we have Benfica, Servette, which I think are from Switzerland. Yeah, they are. Lech, Poland, Real Madrid, Braga, I think this is from Portugal. Fenerbahce, Olympique Lyon, and Paris Saint-Germain. So you should say that these are winnable games, except for the Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid won, but we should be able to win those as well. So currently we are second in the Bundesliga with 10 points. We do not have anyone in the top scoring charge, but um, Bayern have scored 7 goals, and I think Tel has scored all of their goals. What seems he scored 2 there, 1 there, 2 there, and I think also 2 here. Yeah. So Matthias Tel is really popping off for Bayern Leverkusen. I think they bought him, yeah, for 70 mil. So big moves there from Bayern. They are now in third, and Bayern München are in 10th. Those are our biggest competitors: Bayern, Leipzig, Dortmund, and Bayern 04. So that's how we're looking right now. Let me take you to transfers, and of course, first things first, we will go to the transfers that we have sold. So we have sold Alberto Molero to Manchester City. We have think we got him for 33.5. Did pretty well, but he wasn't really going to be a starter anymore this season because we have found some other people who could fill that in. So he left to Manchester City. Don't think he's going to play a lot there, but we didn't need him anymore. Then Malasia played pretty well. Came in from us for 30.5 from Sevilla. Played pretty well. Was one of our starting backs, but wasn't really going to be in the team after I signed his replacement. So we managed to sell him on. Initially, there was a bid from Newcastle United in for 83 million, but unfortunately, that didn't go through. So we had to sell him after that to Man City for 45, which is also fine. Then Fabio Carvalho, the backup guy that we brought in on a free from Liverpool last season, he got sold for 43 million to Rennes. I don't know what they were thinking, but they wanted him pretty badly, so sold him for 43 mil. Was happy to see him go. Also sold our backup goalkeeper Slonina to Mönchengladbach, bought him in for 22, then got a better goalkeeper in, so he was on the list to go. Sold him for 28.5 to Borussia Dortmund. Malik Tillman also left for 14.25, also bought him in on a free a couple of seasons ago, and now just made a nice 40 million profit on him. Then Aydin, our backup right back, who was trained by the team by Schalke 04, by us, left for 13.5 mil to Saudi Arabia. Rogerio, we also wanted to get rid of him because he wasn't really going to be a backup anymore. So 9 million also to Saudi Arabia. Then Fidelity Becker, also one of those wingbacks which we trained in Schalke, but unfortunately we didn't really need him anymore, so 9 million is what we got for him. Then Wijzen Basic, who is also a player who we think we bought in for 1 million, yeah, a milli, then he played some off and on, never really made an impact. Went out on loan last season, and this season we just managed to sell him on for goods to Saudi Arabia, also 6 million. Then some backup team players, Kyle George, Tom Kraus, Fabian Kunze, of course, and Tom Kraus went on a permanent transfer. And Fabio Kunze, I just want to highlight this player. Very underrated player. We bought him in for Hanover for 2.4 million. Was a starter for a lot of seasons, but eventually we just got better players, and he didn't really get a lot of playing time anymore. So just managed to sell him on. He also wanted to leave, so just gave him the transfer that he actually wanted. Also, Skelly Alvaro sold him for 400k. Wasn't really going to play a backup player anymore for us. 2.1 million we bought him for, so made a loss on him, but not really anything special. Then Luca Hayanen and Martin Bush are on loan. Martin Bush, I expect a lot of good things from this guy. He's showing up to be pretty nicely. Might just become a backup. I don't think he'll ever be a starter, but a backup, homegrown backup, it's also always nice. Then Monsi also went out on loan. The player that we brought in for 2.1 million, the Driven with 20 determination, which I really like. He's went on to loan to Villarreal. And also Cantero, who we actually bought this season, but we managed to put him out on loan again at River. So 10.25 million we bought him for, and he's now out on loan, looking pretty good. Also an exciting prospect for the future. Then Mirka Botanza, we bought in a goalkeeper, which we also immediately once again loaned out to his former club. 4 million we only had to pay. Really don't expect a lot from him, but 4 million for this kind of potential is a gamble I like to make. And then also Tobias Wimmer, we loaned him out to Köln as an important player, and he's going to get a lot of playing time, and that's what this guy needs. He's so close to the first team, but he just needs a little bit of playing time. So for Köln this season, 2 goals, 2 assists, 1 play of the match, and 4 appearances, which is already pretty good. So I just hope he develops. And as you can see, all of these players sold meant that we had 245 million to spend, and spend we did. Together, this transfer money that we got, together with 100 million that we got from the board, meant that we could buy a lot of players. And of course, let me start with the first player that we brought in. The first player we brought in was João Neves. Just an all-round great player, another Portuguese from Benfica that we brought in. Just a very, very, very good player. He's going to be playing as that in the shadow striker role for us. Great mentals, great physicals, great technicals. Could play anywhere on the pitch. Just a great guy to have. Our most expensive contract ever, 250k. So he's really going to earn it. Then we brought in Felix Yuknikol, who's just a backup youngster, driven, 90 determination, okay potential, 2.5 mil. I thought I might take the gamble. Then Darko Hirkach, 10.25 million, resolute center back, has a really high potential. He's probably still playing for the under 19s right now, but we should put him to the second team because I think he could be of use of there and he would improve a lot more. Then we also bought in Tom Roth because we already knew that we were going to say goodbye to some of our wingbacks, so we bought in an upgrade. Tom Roth came in for 12 million from Dortmund, a very, very, very good player. Okay mentals, great physicals, and great technicals, just all around very good player. Bought him in for 70k, 12 million he cost, but that's a steal in this day and age. Then I already told you the guy that we loaned out, 4 million for the goalkeeper. Then we bought in Amadou Buyuma, who is already an existing player on the game, a wonder kid at the beginning of the game, bought him in for 35 million to be a backup, but actually is going to be a starter, I think, for us. He still has some potential to grow, and if we just put him on the ball playing defender here, we can actually see how he will grow, and hopefully he will grow. Then we spent 60 million on a regen from Inter. And look at this guy, 90 determination, great mentals, great physicals, and okay technicals, which means he is going to be our backup left back or right back for the future. 200k a week, very expensive contract for someone who hasn't really shown it that he can do it yet. But just wanted to get him in. Perfectionist personality, really expecting a lot from this guy as well. Then 9.25k for Jonathan Ta, just a backup center back. Not great physicals anymore, but mentally and technically just still a great player. 9.25k, 2-year deal. I think whenever his deal runs out, he's 34 years old, so we will just sell him on. Then Patrick Danek, also a defensive midfielder, but someone who are going to train to a right back position, a wing back position. Okay physicals, okay mentals, 16 vision, 17 were great, just great, and 17 technique with 16 passing, which means would be perfect as a deep line playmaker, but we're going to be retraining him as a wingback. He hasn't really got a lot of growth in him anymore, but already worth 92k, so really expecting a lot. If he doesn't turn out, we can sell him for more than that 11 million. Then another player from Inter, Luca Mortellero. A shadow striker on the back in the reserves that we bought in because we sold Molero. So for 54 million on a 80k a week, looking pretty good. Also perfectionist personality, so looking forward to what he can do. Then Adrien Rabiot, I gotta be honest, a bit of a panic buy. I needed the Segundo Volante as a reserve, and I bought him in. Pretty expensive contract, I think a 2-year deal, but he still got it. Very good, well-rounded mentals, okay physicals, and good technicals for someone who can play anywhere on the pitch. And then the last two is Gabriel Cantero. Just a backup guy, which we also loaned to the River again. You probably know him already because I just showed him. 16 crossing, 16 dribbling, just a great winger to have as well. Could loan him out. He's gonna be worth more than that 10 million that we bought him for, so just something for the future. And then our most expensive signing of the lot, Jeremy Frimpong, 27-year-old Dutchman, 30 caps, could play on the right or the left. We bought him in for 75k. He's on 230k a week, but great physicals, insane technicals, and great mentals for that wingback position where we're going to be playing him. 16 dribbling, 15 technique, 17 off the ball, 16 flair. Just perfect for what you want in that right back position with 17 natural fitness, which is just great. And let me just show you, we were very close to signing this guy. If I can find him still, he's on my short list. He is from Roma. Almost was willing to spend 120 million on this guy. Look how good he is. Very ambitious. Okay, mentals, great physicals, and insane technicals for that for that advanced forward position. Going to try to sign him next year if we have the money because he's looking like the real deal. He's already scored, I think, 34 times for Roma, and he could just get better. So I think next season we're going to have to spend the big bucks, and we're going to have a lot of people also fighting for him. So with all of that said, these are our finances. We still have 43 million in a transfer budget, so we can still do a lot of things if we want to. If we look at the transfer depth, of course, 74 million, net debt still 242 million, so going pretty okay. Our wages have spiked up to almost 3 million this season, but we're going to try to make it really far in the Champions League and try to win that Bundesliga title this season again after failing to get it last season. Let me just show you how we did. So we went from the first position in the Bundesliga, in the second Bundesliga, to the sixth, fourth, being the champions last season, 2 seasons ago, and being third place last season. So we're going to try to get another one of those illustrious Bundesliga titles, and we're going to be doing it with this team. So this is how we're looking: Carnesci in goal, with Valesri, our new Italian right back. We are retraining to right back. Dumbuya, Kone, Tsimikas, who's still here, Rabiot, and Scalvini in the midfield. Mortello, Guadrago, Gabriel Silva, and Dopanzo in the attack. And look at this bench. Frimpong still on the bench. Araujo still on the bench. Veloso, Yao Neves, who we bought in for insane money. Veloso for 64k, and Yao Neves we bought in for 65k. So still have a lot of quality on the bench. We're going to see how we'll do, and I will be back to you, I think, in the January transfer window right here at Stuttgart, like I always do. I show you how we've done so far, then I once again sim through the end of January and show you how we've been doing. For now, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you've enjoyed, please consider to leave a like down below. It really helps me out, and subscribe to my channel. I upload the series every week on Wednesday and Sundays. And if you have anything you want to let me know, leave it down in the comments. And I hope to see you in the next one.